Welcome to Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin McLean.
Hello, and welcome to the Loud Poets Grand Slam Final! Oh, my name is Kevin McLean. I will be your host for this evening. Thank you all so much for coming along. Are you guys excited for the Book Fest? Oh, we are very excited. This is our third year here, part of Edinburgh International Book Festival. We are so thankful for them bringing us back. We must have done all right last year. Give me a little whoop if you've been to one of the Grand Slam finals before. We must have done really good last year. Give me a little whoop if you have never been to any slam before. They've pulled themselves to the sides in fear. Don't worry, it's not as violent as it sounds. It's going to be lovely. I'll talk you through how it's going to work, what's going to happen. But yes, it is wonderful to be back here at the Book Fest. If you're a Book Fest regular and you haven't been to a slam before, strap the fuck in. It's a bit of a different tone. I can feel some people already being like, why is the man screaming into the microphone? It's going to be fine. We're going to bring you with us. A bunch of spoken word weirdos have infiltrated the Book Fest for an afternoon, but it is going to be good. The way a slam works, it is competitive poetry, which is a silly idea, but you fell for it and came, so I guess it works. No, it's wonderful. We have 10 absolutely beautiful poets. We have been doing slams all over Scotland and England. We branched out this year because, London doesn't have enough opportunities. We thought we'd throw them a bone, so we've been doing 10 heats all over the place since way back in November. We had our Edinburgh heat with Push the Boat Out all the way through to our final heat up in Inverness just 4 weeks ago. So that has been our whole year. I just want to say, first and foremost, a huge thank you to all the partners that have joined us on that journey. So that's Push the Boat Out, Paisley Book Fest, Up Your Airts in Dumfries, the best name arts organisation in the country. That is Process Productions, Bradford Lit Fest, Paisley Book Fest, Edinburgh International Book Festival, Aberdeen Performing Arts, a bunch of absolutely incredible organisations. Stanza, Scotland's International Poetry Festival, without whom we would not be able to do this. Also, we got to give a big whoop, big shout out right at the top to Creative Scotland. It is, I don't know if you've noticed, a fucking rough time in the old art scene. So we are very grateful to Creative Scotland for making this whole year for us possible. And it all culminates here at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. So we have our 10 finalists. They all won their regional heat and are here to compete for the title of Grand Slam Champion, which crowns them one of the best poets in the UK as far as I'm fucking concerned. But it is not just pride and honour and bragging rights that are on the line. No. There is cold hard cash to win. The winner of the Grand Slam final receives £3,000, which is, in this economy, no, if you know anything about poetry, that's like 4 years' wage, which is it's pretty impressive. So we're very excited for that. But, pride, bragging rights, money, they're all nice. The true prize is you are the poet that gets to hold aloft the Loud Poets Championship belt. Ooh. Is she not beautiful? This whole thing is just so I can own that belt, just so you know. No, we're very excited. We have been running all these heats. It's been wonderful. We've had some absolutely stellar heats all over the country. But yes, we have our 10 finalists. And so how's it going to work? For those that don't know, we're going to have 3 rounds. In each round, the poets will have 3 minutes each at the mic to deliver a poem. And they will be judged on those poems, and we'll go from 10 poets in the first round down to 6 poets in the second round, down to 3 poets in the final round. And in the final round, we're going to add a little bit of extra Loud Poet sauce on top. We have our musician, our resident musician, Jack Hinks, who's going to be playing alongside all the poets. Whoops for Jack Hinks. So that is going to be a really interesting bit of it. They don't know who's going to be there. It's going to be improvised. It's wonderful. So those are the 3 rounds. That's how it works. Who's going to decide? Not fucking me, thankfully. We have enlisted some absolutely top-class judges who know their stuff. Our first judge, for all of her sins, she's been judging every slam we have done this year, and the last 2 years, we make her do it all the time. It's really harsh. She's the resident Loud Poets judge. She's the PhD, the doctor herself. Give it up for Katie Ailes! You're going to see as this goes on, you're going to have more and more sympathy for Katie, knowing that she's done this for 3 years. Our next judge, who could be better to have as a judge than last year's champion? We were absolutely blown away by her performances last year in her heats at the Grand Slam Championship. She has 2 more hours clinging to that belt. She the fucking champ. Give it up for EmmaClaire Brightlyn! And joining those two, we have an EIBF rep. We like to make sure our partner orgs are represented in the judging, and she must have drawn a very short straw in the EIBF office. Give it up for Jodie Barnacle-Best! I say the short straw thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to judge. We saw Jodie and we're like, are you all right with judging? She's like, fuck yeah. Okay, maybe too keen. Yeah, no, it's going to be wonderful. Those are our 3 judges. So they are going to be deciding who goes through. Hey, but there is one other special role in a slam, and EmmaClaire is going to be stepping into that breach. She is our sacrificial poet. What that means is when we are doing a slam, it's quite hard to be the first person up to the mic to kick things off. And so EmmaClaire is going to take that bullet. She is going to warm you guys up with a poem. But I don't think you guys need much warming up, because that's all the information. That's all the poets. That's all of that stuff. You guys don't need to worry about the order, the judges, the sacrificial, any of that jazz. You guys need to worry about having a really fucking good time and giving all the love, all the support, and all the energy to your poets. So you up for that? Because it can be tough, man. These are our champions, but poetry, it can get raw, it can get real. We might go some funny stuff. We might see some really fucking introspective stuff. We're going to run the whole remit this afternoon. It can be really an intense, stressful thing for our poets. What they need from you guys is that love and support, and I know you have it in you. What I'm going to do is run down the list of our poets so they know who is up. When I'm doing it, guys, when I'm introducing you, I'll introduce you between the poems, and I'll give you like an on deck to know you are the poet after the next poem. I'm not good at math. I do words, not numbers. That's too close to numbers. So the way it's going to work is we are going to do one big clap at the end of this list. This is the fucking bee in my bonnet. I believe in you, Bookfest. One big clap at the end. We are going to have Aditya. Out. Then we're going to have Arlo, Colleen, Dorothy, Elle, Henry, Lucas, Lucy, Tracy, Tristan. You know the poets, you know the prizes, you've met the judges, it's time to get fucking going. We have a sacrificial poet that cannot be matched. Please make some noise for the spectacular EmmaClaire Brightlyn.
I was asleep. I'm sure I was asleep, but now she's loud. She's up, so I'm up. Across the room with eyes mostly closed, to the door with the loudest crack when it opens. It signals to her that I'm here. I'm awake. She is not alone over there in the dark, across the hall. I cross the hall. Checklist. Wet, dummy, blanket, doggy, cuddles. Always cuddles. Sleepy cuddles, yet not asleep, so I rock and I talk as I cuddle on the spot, my hands in my chest reaffirming the words so she knows and she hears and she feels she is safe, safe to sleep. And in the minutes next to that crib, my brain loses time like ribbons unraveling. Tendrils through fingers as this minute becomes that hour, and I can no longer tell if it was the first time tonight or the third time last night, but I am sure it is night, though not sure if I locked the door or went to the store for more milk or bananas, or wrote to say we could meet on Thursday, or picked up a card for that birthday, or told the sitter we cut sandwiches her way now because there is less crust. I must get the recipe for those fritter things, the recipe for banana bread, the recipe for air fryer chicken, the recipe for disaster, though I would never make it because why would I willingly make disaster when I have so much else to do? What was I doing? She's asleep. I summon the strength of every core muscle I have ever owned or honed or toned, and nestle this well-loved creature back into her bed. Again, at last, for now. And cross the hall and that fucking loud door to settle next to undisturbed snores. It could have been an hour ago, or yesterday, but I definitely was asleep. Thank you.
That's why she's the champ. We could not have asked for a more deserving champion. It has been a glorious year having EmmaClaire as our champ, and I'm sure we are going to crown a worthy champ this evening. Guys, are you ready to kick off round one? Well, we have Arlo on deck, but our first poet this evening, make some noise for Aditya Narayan!
It's an early winter morning. The fog's too thick to see, and everything is half asleep, including everything inside. I cannot write. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty to write about. Plenty to fight for, I'm hoping less to fight about. I could stick my phone mid-air and have it siphon in a second. Every person, place, and principle the powerful have threatened. Every bomb, every riot, every refugee in crisis, every wish, every whip, every fall from paradise, and every war, every genocide, every nation wronged, and every army that refused to fucking stay where it belonged, and every whisper, every cry, every silence, every shout. I don't think I can deny that there is much to write about, so why the doubt? Why do thoughts that carried truth and beauty now must fly without? Where are the words that spoke the truth to power on the page and sounded good to listen to on stages where I read them out? See, true things, they ring ugly now, and beautiful things false. So do I speak the truth with ugliness, or do I lie without? The fluency that oiled the very hinges of my speech is boiling over into garble that refuses to be reached, and the mist that trailed my thoughts and made them sound like what you seek is galvanizing into walls that have no mouth to speak. Because voices, they sound ugly now, and courteous silence weak. So do I scream with hideous clarity or calmly double-speak? Is my poetry double-speak? Impressive at the cost of truth, deliberately oblique? What use is my attempt to show the suffering of the world when every single word is polished by the pen it has to meet? And what happens when the injury is not even mine to treat? Will people who confront a genocide in every breath agree with me selecting metaphors to clarify their death? Isn't it deceit? To call the blood a river or the gun a mountain peak? To act like beautiful and bleak are one? What happens when reality demands no further clarity? Is gravity still welcome when you have nowhere to jump? Does what I write still say the naked truth, or just a truth I don't mind saying? And every time I write, am I betraying my intent? Am I someone who can't help euphemize what he is seeing? Does poetry require the truth to bend? I don't know. I don't know if I should make the hinges of my language turn in service of a craft that chisels even as it claims to burn. I don't know if it's possible to weaponize a word that needs to posture for attention first in order to be heard. I don't know if the day I write a piece on Palestine, I will be helping or hurting the cause by trying to make it rhyme. I don't know if the truth can sit with beauty without bursting at the seam, the harmony receding like a dream in an early winter morning. The fog too thick to see. I'm writing, but I don't know if I'm writing poetry. Thank you.
We have Colleen Wood on deck, but coming to the stage now, keep that applause going for Arlo Bay!
I cannot wait to be a mediocre man. Play my overrated music, loved by mediocre fans. Join the ranks of Tom Hanks and Oasis stans. All the women who love how casual and low effort I am. Oh, I cannot wait to be a mediocre man with a girlfriend way sexier and cooler than I am. She'll have tattoos, piercings, hair dyed long, and I'll have one Claire's earring that tells you, yeah, I'm strong. I'll eat for each meal a 3-man ration, wear jeans and a tight top and call it fashion. Not only that, I'm tired of this face card always booking. I want to be completely average looking. I want to be a real hear me out, an out-of-pocket crush. I want to be hoisted by friends who try to support poor taste way too much. When a bestie shows her bestie a photo of me on her phone, she should go, oh! This is the guy. He's cute. Oh, I cannot wait to be a mediocre man. And it won't actually matter if I'm better than the rest. I'll bring up my soulful poetry, which will be so-so at best. See, people always on my kingship, kinship, boy piss shit. Never on my high guy, why guy, boss man bit. This propensity to liken me to monarchs and kings felt like guilty tongues dancing on falsity rings, 'cause a king is just another unattainable thing. Why must I exceed every expectation at a poke? Just to prove I'm worthy of being some everyday bloke? I'm taking my time, feeling glory and gory galore, 'cause all these little harmless things most guys hide or ignore, they hold a new joyful experience in store. It's the joy of an employee coming up to me to say, sir, your car's blocking an ambulance, there's an emergency and it needs to get in. And not listening, 'cause he called me sir. And sure, it's not a lightning strike caught in an umbrella, but to feel the heartbeats radiate from this ordinary fella, and maybe I missed a couple years. I'm a bit behind the curve, but I'm here now and ready to share this new discovered love. Of course, none of these things make you a man all forever. But in this new start, it's the little sparks that hold my cells together. And I finally know what I've been living it for. And I didn't know love like this existed before, so I'll feel me in every language. My body will know. Now my world has expanded all the places I'll go, and joy is found in the little things, so I'll start dreaming of the mediocre man that I might be. Brother, husband, a dad, if they'll let me. The thing about having your heart restarting is that you never take another heartbeat for granted. And I feel my heart exploding in my chest, 'cause in my own shape, every day's my new PR best. 'Cause it really doesn't matter how mediocre I am, 'cause for just another day, I get to be my own man. Thank you.
On deck, we have Dorothy Polgar, but coming to the stage now, go wild for Colleen Way!
There's a dog barking at the end of our street, and she swears that she can't hear it. There's the East Lancs and the motorway, and even they don't come near it in terms of deafening me and threatening me and making me close the curtain. It's confusing at times, like I'm choosing to mind, but I know it, and I'm certain that there's a dog barking at the end of our street. I can hear it in the nighttime. It always starts up and it never shuts up, and even though there's never a right time, it is an aggravating bark, and it is in agitating, stark contrast to the noise and the fuss that I used to hear, to the hum and the buzz that I used to fear when I could not hear that fucking dog barking. And I don't remember it starting. It was way before I moved over here. I've been hearing it now for 5 fucking years, and so the bastard must have followed me. And the noise has somehow hollowed me out of the person that I was into a living, breathing shell. And a passerby with the naked eye would never be able to tell that all I can hear is a barking dog, on repeat, on snooze, on silent. And all I can think of when I hear that dog is of defeat, or to lose, and to be violent. There's a dog barking at the end of our street, and it hasn't got a lead on. It won't come out of the gate, and it hasn't got out to feed on, so I go into the street to give it something to eat, but just as I call it to come, the volume will drop, and the barking will stop, and I'll have to think of some other thing to complain about, some other thing to be in pain about, because I realise life's a drain without, the thing I go fucking insane without, could not possibly be Colleen without, is that fucking dog barking. It's louder than a bin lorry parking. It's more piercing than its claws that could stab me. And from the first minute I heard it, it had me right where it wanted me to be. Pinned up in the corner for everyone to see. It's that lad who is a dog that no one else is. You must be mad to hear a dog when there are no dogs near. But there's a dog barking at the end of our street. I swear down, I'm telling you, there is. Thank you very much.
On deck, we have Dylan Reams, but coming to the stage now, keep that applause building for Dorothy Polga!
Audiences rarely receive an applause. We forget to hold the hands that spend their voices supporting us. So, Mum and Dad, this moment is yours. A collection of cassette tapes from the loft, finally unboxed, we become an audience to our younger selves. It's 2007. I tiptoe onto a carpeted stage from behind living room curtains and see Barbies on the front row. You, a few rows behind on a sofa-shaped royal box. You showed me that an audience is two people who love you and someday many more who might. It's 2016. We strap cotton buds to our cheeks with plasters like headset microphones, our voices adjusting from whisper to crackle to speaker. You notice the difference. The sound of improvised lines spoken into highlighters, water bottle, hairbrushes, everything that makes our voices loud lives beneath the roof of a house, waiting to be reimagined before an audience who believe it. And you've always believed. Growing up is wanting to become an audience for the people we love. So it's 1998. You are dancing, waltz-worn feet rising onto the podium, falling back into hold. We clap along to your proudest applause. You must miss hearing support for every step you voice to music. You've known too many days without feeling appreciated. So thank you. Thank you for always watching over our lives when we should have been listening more to yours. I will make sure there is always jasmine-scented hand cream at every theatre door. Never leave without letting the belief you give to us take care of your own skin. Anja is upper as a top snektek soul. This applause is yours.
On deck, we have Henry Mad, but coming to the stage now, go wild for Dylan Reed!
Everyone hold hands. Because you can tell a lot about a woman by her hands. For instance, if they're round your neck, it probably means she's upset. Maybe worst joke of the fringe, but it's all right. I'll hold my own hand with its 12 little freckles. Now, the skin is older now than it used to be. I don't wear hand cream, and there's a scar in the centre of the wrist, but I don't know where that one came from. But you can tell a lot about a person by their hands. For instance, long fingers, piano players' hands. Anxiety means mine are often clammy, palms are sweaty. And my piano teacher used to get out this special wipe towel whenever I came round, and it was meant to make it okay, but I winced with shame whenever she She wiped the keys, wiped the moisture away, wiped clammy palms, arms are heavy, apologies spilled down chin already. Mum, spaghetti! But not really. My mum was actually very gluten intolerant as a child. I rarely ate pasta. But you can tell a lot about a person by their hands, and the index finger is a lot more sensitive than the rest. Scarred from a hand blender that I slipped with. I was making protein balls to shrink myself thin with, so they had to glue it back together. So now the scars are knobbly, the knuckles are knobbly, and I probably should wear hand cream because you can tell a lot about a person by their hands. And this one broke when he clenched fist hit, pushed me down the stairs, said, "It's your fault, bitch." So casually spoken. And the hospital said, "Yeah, it's broken," but there was nothing they could do. There was no glue this time. So I had to make my own splint out of a lolly stick. I had to eat the lolly first to get the lolly stick. It was a Solero. That made me feel quite sick. But you can tell a lot about a person by their handshake. And do you remember, for such a long time, we were not allowed to handshake strangers? I was glad. See, strangers, they often wince, wipe. They'll read too much into it, wipe. And we'd wash these palms, backs of hands, for 20 seconds, multiple times a day. We'd anti-back, wear gloves, try not to imagine germs breeding vividly as we'd all soap sing happy birthday, our untouched hands raw with sanitizing. I preferred rawness. Maybe mind sweat because worry needs somewhere to go. But this is why I don't wear hand cream, and this is why fountain pens for handwriting at school were a nightmare. Because children can be cruel, and when you grow up continuously associating touch with people saying, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" you wipe your hands down your clothes and you try not to cry. See, I have a condition, it's called hyperhidrosis. I'm trying to write about it, talk about it a bit more, just in case it helps somebody else accept their thing that makes them different, because sometimes it's quite nice not having to hold your own hand, isn't it? These are my hands. I do accept them as okay, largely. Palms are sweaty, knees weak. Nah, mine are sparkly. Thank you.
On deck, we have Lucas Sheridan, but right now making their way to the stage, go wild for Henry Mann!
I'd like to tell you about one of my favourite childhood memories. It's of a Saturday morning, yeah? Not one Saturday morning in particular, though, more like a few stacked together so you can't see the individual parts of them, kind of like a pack of biscuits that you can't get into because you lost the little tear here bit. You see, back before Saturday mornings were colonised by exhaustion from late night shifts, they were about two things and two things only, and that was biscuits and Saturday morning telly. For me and my brother Sam, this meant Dick and Dom and Pokemon, SMTV, Anton Deck and Cat Dealey. Can you dig it? Yes, we can. Thank you very much, Fern Cotton. Up and out of bed by 7. We are two sneaky mice in matching pajamas, shuffle down the stairs, straight through to the kitchen. Sam gives me a boost onto the counter, hard surface, bony knees, cupboard open, pack of bickies, custard creams, get in. And we never learned how to stop at 1 or 2. And then it's onto the sofa for the next 4 hours. And these hours are hours. You see, growing up, I was bullied a lot. That's nothing new. So I hid in these mornings, brother, biscuits, cartoons, and nothing could take that away. Except age. At a certain point, we performed this routine for the last time and didn't know it. I searched my eyes and searched for the moment. School bell rings, I'm older now. Sam lives halfway round the world. Friday nights are a thing now. I still bosh biscuits, but I switched to ginger nuts when custard creams weren't enough. Then I started hobbing-nobbing it with bourbons, running party rings, round rich teas. No, I never learned to stop at 1 or 2. And now Saturday mornings are greeted with eyes wide like jammy dodgers in strange rooms. I don't see my brother very much anymore. I don't see the boy I was back then very much anymore. He knows I'll rob his smile if I see him, so he stays hidden. I guess these mice became men, or at least tried to. And now it's 5 a.m. at an after party and I can't get comfy. I feel a pain in my chest. I look down and realise I'm clutching a pack of biscuits against myself so hard that I've smashed them all. I want to get in to fix them, but I can't because I've lost the little tear here bit, and I start panicking like, I didn't mean to kill it, George, I was just petting it. My intentions are irrelevant, emotional growth stuck in arrested development. I just need to rest a bit. I just need to sleep on the evil, digesting it. Just need to speak, but I'm feeble. Wanted to help, made a mess of it. Ended up breaking it. I'm making it worse. I'm making a mockery. Life's getting on top of me. Fighting myself. Find no boss that is stopping me. Dick and Dom, where have you gone, man? Your services are needed. Because someone is bullying me, but the bully is me. So buy my brother a ticket home, a pack of biscuits, and please put on the TV. Thank you.
On deck, we have Lucy Beth, but coming to the stage right now, make some noise for Lucas Sheridan!
When I stand here, heart hearing each of your beats and speeding up to meet each double clap of valve and muscle, a wonderful tussle of syllable and sinew, it's easy to forget how I spent years silence in my heart. Done with my way of being clear for all to see, I wrapped myself in code, but then I lost the key. I remember writing my first poem. It felt like being on a play date and finding all the beads I needed to spell my name on my friendship bracelet. But when I picked the poem up, all the threads came with it, unraveling knots I didn't remember tying, loosening seams on a straitjacket I could never have described. So then the letters came. Falling out my sleeves, the bottom of my trousers, letters overflowing at my collar. I tried to stay calm, sort out the ABCs, remember how to read, but I didn't have the words. I couldn't make sense of the feeling, never mind make sentences. 16 then. I went hiding down the type of alleyway only line breaks can make, finding new friends in dark corners of spit bars and stanzas. Denez Smith cut me a silhouette from their pages, and Joelle Taylor gave me a shadow that walked in step. At the open mics, poets wove light out of the night for me, taught me how to speak again that is my own, in a voice that is my own, no matter how hard it feels. On this stage, I craft versions of myself that could never have existed and spin yarns for younger me that I didn't know could be told. Words that stuck in my teeth as I tried to get them out melt now like penny sweets. Queer is nearly impossible for me to say without smiling. Its E's and R's sending the edges of my mouth up to my ears. I first heard queer said with a smile in a poem. I first called myself queer in a poem. I remember watching those letters settle on the page and feeling a twinge I didn't recognize, but deciding that this is how I wanted to be alive. Even now, sometimes writing a poem feels like punch needling. Like I am forcing the words through me and out the other side, making a hole in the hope to make a picture. Sometimes it takes a while before I can step back from the ache and see how each loop of thread, each line of words has made beauty that I couldn't see before. Sometimes the picture even looks like me. So when I say I'm a poet, it's not about the poems but my making. And when I say I'm a queer poet, it's not about that aching but the art of being when you don't have the words and the living when you do. I hope you can find your words too.
We have Tracy Rosenberg on deck, but the poet coming to the stage right now. Go wild for Lucy Beth!
Screeching, skirling breaks like a siren's cry filled up roads as I went driving by in a motor. It was a bit of a stoter. Jack Frost had cursed my pathway, and here's here to see it nicht. Black ice breadcrumb spots strain and cheats my sicht. A Devo was using my heed to play a drums. Death metal snares with thuds, claps, bums. Attack hopes at air. Push you to brain fog. Deep-nebbed breaths, Eustachian tube lums. After another deep breath, I expect to feel clean. Soon I'll be back home, awa wi the fairies to dream. Instead, there was an almighty dunt the button for my scream. Something has walloped a St Andrew's Cross style scar into the side window o' my witch cackling car. A snabba? A tree brunch? Steen? A chucky? I ride into the dark necht, but curiosity kills me. I reverse a car, and in a ditch, among a stour squash techt, was a brecht plumage, oh simply pure white. A hullet on its maiden flecht, first flee a waffy mom, clattered to the grun. In an attempt at playing minister, I adopt a kind, sympathetic haze. Guilt interrupts my prayer. This natural being manslaughter captured grim reaper's gaze. A wing death rattles a final plea to heaven. Time of death, early morn, 1:37. Tender tangerine-eyed tutor, fae fluffy-formed cloud, to burst bloody spluter. Warm hate water bottle of wings pressed against my chest, it stings. Twa united earthly companions fleeing with different wings. Our meeting bad planned, wrong place, wrong necht. My presence got in a way of your first flecht. Your chirps, hoots, and twit-to-woos are reserved only for the wisdom of the roadside woods. A life I have robbed of you. Are your maybes, ifs, woods, and coods. Your book-like radiance warranted you a fairy tale burial. Final moment of grace, poetic goodnight, ephemeral. But into the dark necht I fled, fearing the cries of your mother when she found out you were dead.
Our final poet on deck is Tristan Lewis, but our penultimate poet, make some noise for Tracy S. Rosenberg!
I wanted to see a war. There's a photograph I saw from Bucha. Two people are lying on the pavement near a stack of wooden pallets and a pile of bricks. They're curled towards each other, almost facing. I can't tell from the photograph what they mean to each other. Maybe he fought to protect her and died in rage at his failure. Maybe they were strangers, unlucky in the same place. The woman's hands are tied behind her back with a white cloth. Her fingers are bent over her palm. Her wrists were bound so tightly, her fingernails are blue. I want to know why your ex-girlfriend cheers the dictator who demolished your city. I want to understand how she still thinks he's the good guy, even after he tattooed her body with shrapnel scars and starved you down 15 kilos. I want to know why you loved her, but you won't love me, and why I feel compelled to walk into your country at war 3 years after you walked out. I don't understand why it's not enough to be a compassionate spectator in a rubber bracelet, why I need to step off a train and be in this place. Air raid sirens screaming through the night. Town square memorials with new faces added every day. Flags, and so much glory. Every other ex-soldier I see has a metal pole where half his leg used to be. I want to bind my wrists with shreds of white cloth and apologize for not knowing what it means to starve. I want to stand in that place near the pallets and bricks and know those two people were buried respectfully together, if that's what they would have wanted, and then light candles for them in the crypt of a tall white church. I want you to know how grateful I am that you weren't left to die. I want to know what any of this agony is for. I want to understand why I want to see this war.
We have come to the final poet of the first round. Give everything you got. Make some noise for Tristan Lee!
I've not been counting, but I know there's been more tears than laughter in the last few years. And after pausing for reflection, I think we can agree that by far the largest part of all that heartache's down to me and that tendency to see and yet not see at the same time. How extraordinarily fortunate I've been throughout my life. But instead, I do perseverate on negative events, interpret every moment as just further evidence of the ways in which I've failed to achieve. And even worse, the ways in which this world has failed me. I've not been listening. But I know that even in the kindest words, I've heard implicit criticism. I've found reasons to be hurt, and I've bristled at imaginary slights in well-meant lines. It is that tendency to hear and yet not hear at the same time. How extraordinarily fortunate I've been throughout my life. And I've responded not how I would have hoped I would respond. I have withdrawn and fallen silent, and I have pondered long about the ways in which I've failed to achieve, and even worse, the ways in which this world has failed me. I've not been drinking much these days because the drunk that I become is not the kind of drunken man I'd wish on anyone. Gone is that funny, floppy fella who's just glad to be alive, and gone is that happy-go-lucky younger brother kind of vibe, replaced by something darker, replaced by something that's much harder to look back and laugh at in the morning. I've not been checking on my privilege enough. I have lived a life that billions of souls could only dream of, free from war in my small corner, free from any kind of torture. I've found shelter almost every single night since I was born. And the family that made me, and the family I made, and almost every member of my clan can say the same. We've been extraordinarily fortunate in every single way. I have received an education. I'm free to voice opinions. I've had friends and I've had lovers and not witnessed their starvation. In fact, I've eaten every day. I have worked and I've been paid, and yet there's still a part of me that wishes to complain about the ways in which I've failed to achieve, and even worse, the ways in which this world has failed me. Now, I'm not boasting when I talk of my extraordinary fortune, because there's really nothing here that could not be a global normal, because I want nothing for myself that's not for everybody else if they desire. And I apologize for every time I let my own entitlement catch fire and you got burned. It is that tendency to learn and yet not learn, that achievement's just a myth, and there can be no ways in which this world has let me down while you're still in it. Thank you.
Remember how I talked about how judging was hard? Fucking hell. That is an absolutely incredible first round of a poetry slam. Can we get one big round of applause for all of our slammers? I have spoken about this at every heat. Poetry slams, it is an almost impossible task to judge poetry. Like the range of subjects, styles, voices on display is not, apples and apples. It's apples and fucking cabinets. It's like totally different things. It's so hard to judge that. If you ran a slam, the same slam again, you might get a totally different result. It is so difficult, a thankless task for the judges. So like I always say it to our slammers, that is not a slam if you don't make, this has to go down to 6. How? Not my problem. But what you shouldn't do is feel disheartened if you are not in that 6. It will literally be fractions of points between those poets. I can tell that already. Because of that, I think the math may be somewhat complicated. And as previously mentioned, we are wordsmiths. So to take a little minute to make sure we get that math right, what we are going to do is take a 15-minute break. It's going to be 15 minutes tight. So do what you got to do. Get back in your seat. We're going to be kicking off in 15 minutes. For us, if you are enjoying the show, you could let us know because Creative Scotland give us money, and if you say we like that, they'll give us more money. And that would be, money again, not more money. £1 a review. No. But it lets them know that you enjoy this event and we might see more of it. So yeah, please do that during the break. Otherwise, tell a poet you like their stuff, grab some air, have a hug, a drink, whatever you people do, and I'll see you in 15 minutes.
Welcome back to the second half of Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin Mclean.
Hello. Welcome back to the second half of the Grand Slam final. Whoa, did everyone get some air, get a beverage, do all that good stuff? Good. And you all came back, so it's going well. Nice. Except Katie, who seems to have taken her judging responsibilities and fled the building. I'm sure that'll be fine. Good. No, what an incredible first half. That was an insane first round of any poetry slam. Katie was talking to me at the half. Again, she wanted to reiterate. I'm good with words. There is fractions of points. The difference is so minimal. It was an incredibly hard job for all the judges. I was telling you, Jodie was very up for this before the slam. And then I saw her at the interval and went, still keen? She was like, So we know you have to do this for 2 more rounds. Oh, it's going to be fun. So yes, the 6 that are through, all 10 did an amazing job, but we can only have 6. I can feel all the poets being like, stop doing the thing, just read the fucking names. So I will just read the fucking names. So we don't do scores. Oh, she's back. Everyone, shh, don't tell her we said that thing. Way to give someone immediate anxiety. Everyone, shh. No, yes. So I'm going to read out the 6 names. It is the order they are reading in, nothing to do with scores or anything like that. It will be the reverse order to the first round, okay? And you know what? You've been so good, you can cheer after everyone, all right? What a panto crowd. Fantastic. Okay. It's too much for EmmaClaire now. The judges can only work in shifts. So our first poet through is Tristan Lewis. He will be joined by Lucas Sheridan, Henry Mad, Dorothy Polgar, Arlo Bain, and Aditya Narayan. Those are the 6 poets through. Can we just get one big round of applause for all of our first round slammers? That is a thankless task. We run shows all the time in Edinburgh. You will see all of these poets on our shows. They will all be the sacrificials for their own heats and stuff in our next year's Slam Championship. So this is not the last you have seen of all of those poets. But for now, we go to the final 6. But as those poets will obviously have convinced themselves during the interval, there is no possible way they are making it through to the second round. I'm going to give them a moment to compose themselves, and we are going to have a sacrificial poem once again from the current champ for 2 more rounds. Make some noise for EmmaClaire Brightlyn!
I think she may be trying to kill me. This dragon in the shape of a girl my body grew and birthed into this world. I think she wants my heart to stop from seeing her take off like a shot in the parking lot of Aldi. Or by hearing her maniacal giggle that tells me she's wiggled herself high enough and over enough, close enough to the shelf where we keep the very exciting scissors, ideally away from her. And now she can run through the house with them. Or by seeing her climbing herself to standing on the seat of the horrendously unused exercise bike that her father and I, nearly came to blows over because I knew he wouldn't use it and totally knew she'd climb it. And now she has to the top of it and she might fall off or jump. Because I think she's trying to kill me, this mythical beast I've unleashed on this realm. I think she wants my heart to give out from lack of rest, for besides my best efforts and intentions to make a cozy nest for her to sleep in, she must be next to me, rendering sleep impossible. Only possibilities are mummy up, as in up all night, waking and pacing and spacing, or mummy bed, with the misguided thought of being horizontal with a standard head-on pillow, body below, for she insists on being perpendicular with feet lodged directly in bladder or ribs or throat. Or the working titled on face. She just wants to sleep directly on my face, suffocating me or ending my life with the psychological torture of never being able to sleep. But still, sometimes still, and yet still I marvel how she hasn't killed me. This glowing ball of magic I dreamed into my life. How my heart hasn't actually burst with my absolute love for her as she crawls off my face and curls into my curves, and for a moment is perfectly still. How she finds me for ahs and huzzahs each time she learns a new skill. Oh, her delight as she invites strangers to dance with her, and they dance with her, and her joy is contagious. How my pride and my wonder at her cuteness and perfection is entirely outrageous. How somewhere in amidst her sliding vowels and gliding consonants are the sounds that I know without a doubt mean, Mummy, I love you. And despite her intentions at my imminent destruction, I am left with the unwielding conviction to declare, I will never die. I will be there, prepared to chase after her or dive under her or cuddle or tuck or snuggle next to her. And if I miss, I will be there to wipe the tears and hold the fears that should ever come for her until I can't. And still, till then, I'll plant my heels so firmly, she'll know I'm not going without a fight. Thank you.
Are you ready for round two? Then I will fuck around no longer. Let's do this thing. We are having Lucas on deck, but our first poet kicking off the second round. Go wild for Tristan Lee!
Don't tell Dad about my spelling test. Don't tell him I can't tell one letter from the next, and don't tell Dad how stupid I am. I'd hate for him to think I'm any thicker than I am, but she did tell Dad. And Dad did say, don't worry about that, it's just silly anyway. It's not your fault how these letters evolved with loops and dots and sticks and curls. But here's a little trick for the B and the D. Just draw a little picture of a B-E-D, a bed, you see, beginning and end. That's where the sticks go. There's lots of other tricks, and I'll teach you those. Don't tell Dad I'm failing at maths. Don't tell him I can't calculate the y from the x, and don't tell Dad I didn't even do my best. I just closed my eyes and put my head on the desk. But she did tell Dad, and Dad did say, don't worry about that, it's just silly anyway. There's lots of great things in this world you can do without a quadratic and a cosine rule, but let's draw a diagram, and then you'll see it's never as clever as they make it out to be. Don't tell Dad I got so drunk, I lost certain functions with unfortunate results. And don't tell Dad that I cried and I puked and I broke something valuable that can't be reproduced. But she did tell Dad, And Dad did say, don't worry about that, it's just silly anyway. You should have seen me in 1973 when Sunderland won the cup thanks to Jimmy Montgomery, and I jumped on a table and I fell and broke my nose, and your mother always wondered how I ever did get home. Don't tell Dad that it turns out I'm gay. Don't tell him, because I know it's only going to cause him pain, because Dad believes in families, and families look like this with a mother and a father and a scattering of kids. But she did tell Dad. And Dad did say, don't worry about that, it's just silly anyway. There are no rules sent down here from above, and there's nothing wrong with anyone that's capable of love. And yes, I love my family, but one day I'll love yours. And whatever shape that family takes, we'll have an open door. Don't tell the kids that we've had a diagnosis. Don't tell them that we talked to the doctors and the nurses. And don't tell the kids that we all looked at the screen and they pointed at the shadows and they told us what they mean. But she did tell the kids, and the kids came round, and Dad said, it's probably just a shot across the bows and there's plenty of time and there's no need to worry, but now might be the moment for me to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you ever thought my love came with conditions, like being good at spelling or making great decisions or being straight or being happy or accumulating wealth or being always sober with perfect mental health. And I'm sorry if you ever thought my love could be diminished, because it couldn't, and it wasn't, and it wouldn't, and it isn't.
Our poet on deck is Dorothy Polgar, but now keep that applause going as we welcome back Lucas Sheridan.
You are a wonderful audience, and I'm going to put that to the test because we've got some audience participation. But you're going to smash it, don't worry. Okay, so first of all, we're all just together going to take a big deep breath in and out. Oh, you're fabulous. And next, we're going to say the words, I am here. I am wonderful. Okay, so that's when I go like this. So let's practice. I am here. And then when I go like this, you're going to keep on going. Okay, and we might take the volume up, and we might take the volume down. Oh, beautiful. The Arctic bowhead whale can live for up to 200 years, after Nate DeMeo. The slow lapping of waves, the rush of a current, the peaking chorus of 50,000 I am here. Our tales, our blubber, our scars, our families, and our cool expanse of home. The bowhead whale was also known as the Arctic right whale for being the right whale to hunt. The sound expands, heart, bones, back, cool, blue, 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 home. Slowly, like a tide going out, then a rush of harpoons. If 200 years of life, birth to end, were a beach, how much would you live each grain, each moment of sand? How much would you give for the tide to wash you new, wash you old, wash your wounds, wash you whole? What would you give to again hold those you watch floating lifeless out at sea? Hold your breath. Don't let the air take a breath, take a gulp, take a gasp, take a... Do you feel it in our bones? Like the black of blue depths, like the breaking of a voice. Do the notes echo? Narrow, tired, empty? Now, only vast heart speaking, each beat reflecting off rib, off bone, off muscle, off bone, off breaking, off broken. Echo location for the lonely.
Not only am I bad at numbers, I'm bad at the running order. So now we have Henry on deck. But coming to the stage, Dorothy Folga.
My 17-year-old brother hates poetry. His school anthology became a paper aeroplane before results day, and he has nicknames for the poets that I probably shouldn't say. He would rather rip up a poem than analyze it, but he asked me to write this. He said, "There is something I need to say while it's still small enough to print off and fit into a frame so I can hold it. Since growing tall enough to grab tissues for Mom, trying to keep my girlfriend's smile filling every FaceTime minute, I felt small sadnesses bouncing forehand to backhand, backhand to forehand across each day, and I don't know where or how to express them. I look for the answers in Dad's face and a quiet, open road as he teaches me to drive, but his eyes look too much like mine to have never cried. Browns dotted with striped light blues like his ties. Country lane creased, too quick-stepped, cufflink blues, DIY dad joke, match of the day, royal blues, patterned blues, tied into a smile, sometimes resembling a question mark. A mystery that must be his seam of love, but I wish we could tie it into an easier one. Because it's hard to admit I've recognized a part of him I don't want to become. And my friends don't recognize words to admit I'm not the only one. So when we skip breakfast to get to school, make this a page of the anthology we must skip to. Let us rip out what we never say, fold it into a paper aeroplane, fly it from classroom windows, rain untied pattern blues onto playgrounds, soak lines into undone laces. Because you've expressed what I couldn't in a form I thought I hated, made it small enough to fit in my pocket whilst I play FIFA with the lads and with Dad. And they should all know it doesn't have to be any harder than that. That when we speak feelings in tie-tangled words, someone understands. Thank you.
On deck we have Arlo Bain, but our next poet raised the roof for Henry Mann.
Right. Does electricity know where it's going to end up? Whether it is destined to make a body dance by powering a bass amp or a taser? Does electricity know the difference between playing a flat line or a melody? Ending a life or restarting it, or does it just run towards hearts with open arms regardless of the consequences? Is your heart still pining for that defibrillator that got it racing then left? Would it mistake an electric chair's intentions for commitment? Sorry, asking for a friend. When a spark is born, it does not know if it is the child of a wind farm or coal mine. Still, we label it danger its whole life, then wonder why it gets turned on by violence. In 1818, Frankenstein, a modern Prometheus, used electricity to bring a creature to life. It was deemed the devil's work for suggesting that science could mimic God in matters of life and death. 70 years later, God wasn't as bothered, and William Kemmler became the first person sentenced to the electric chair. Do the electrical impulses in our muscles know the difference between a death sentence and a second chance? Sometimes the negative environments we are born into are our own bodies, broken homes we can't escape. That's why I was so desperate to be conquered by yours. Cliché time. When you looked at me, I knew how Thomas Edison felt the first time he saw a light bulb brighten a room. When you smiled, I knew how those first creatures to crawl onto land felt the first time they saw a sunrise. Your touch taught me how humans felt when Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to them. Your invasion gave me society. But when you left, the civilization of my being crumbled as you retreated the holy Roman Empire of your being through me like a current passing through a convict. The first defibrillator did not save a life until 57 years after an electric chair first took one. That is a long time waiting to be saved. But when that electricity was finally aimed at a silent heart and ordered to make it dance again, it didn't hold back because of its past. Instead, ran forwards with open arms, regardless of the consequences. And I can't help feeling, wow. Imagine what I could do if I had a second chance like that. Maybe I could make us dance again too. Thank you.
We have a DJ Narayan on deck, but your penultimate poet in the second round. Make some noise for Arlo Bain.
Would you shoot me if I was a zombie? When handmade necrotic revenants have remade me to their malevolent soldier, as stringy skin holds bloodless arteriolar from squirming out my shape, and you, a gun to the gape in my head. What course would you think is best? Right, perfect, thank you. Just one more thing. If I had been bitten, felt the heat rise, the disease flies through my blood, to save me from the burn, would you think you were showing mercy if you stopped me from my turn? Perfect, yeah, great, yeah. Just one more scenario. Bite, world end, zombie, grr, shoot friend. But I stopped you. To the fatal mercy, you responded and told you the bite was something I wanted. Like the farmer flooding fields to grow a different crop, I let sweet green grow within my veins as muscle bends and pops, but the heartbeat doesn't stop. It just beats a different rhythm, and the feet move sweet beats as the muscle moves with him. If I said the skin was falling off, it was already torn, that this isn't always dying, but being reborn. Could you love it? Could you love a new form? Fuck love. Could you like me when I've become aeriform? Would you march with the zombies? Would you fight for their rights? Make signs for the protest? Write justice for bites? Work towards futures for new zombie life or unlife or death? Or undead or non-breath? Would you learn the undead aren't that different to you? That it's a stereotype we bite, brought from the media. Propaganda the live necrophobes have been feeding ya in films, in TV. Hidden in sin, would you see the sweet crop and the poison within? Or would you feel there's a monster? Asleep in your house, a leviathan in your loved one, a savage in your spouse? Would you shoot me? Even if I said this was enough, would you decide the undead are undeserving of love? Then would you lay flowers at my grave? Mourn what you lost? Or did you grieve when I wasn't the person you thought? If my life's the horror film, would you sleep well at night? Would you still insist you were right? Because if you did, zombies would just have to take over the world. You can't be a bigot if your guts are unfurled. If there's one correct concept that those movies got, it's that once we've got started, the spread won't stop, so be careful. Because zomboys bite, and trans femmes are vampires. Don't fight me, I'm right. And we'll tear your guts, we'll crush your nuts, we'll burst your little bubble butts. We were just growing. You shot the trust. You brought the invasion of hate to us. Because it doesn't have to be this way. Not violence or rule. We can go hand in hand, guy, girl, and ghoul. Disregard all your hate to your reanimator. You could learn to forgive even 28 years later. Escape the nightmare to the dawn of the dead. See the loves growing with it, so you let the red spread. This world doesn't have to be so dystopian. Plant the seed in our chest, let it grow cornucopian. We've all got a zombie within us. In different strains, we're all reaching for rebirth, climbing from pain, so put the gun down. It's seen enough, moreover. Be more like a zombie, and let the love take over. Thank you.
We have come to the final poet of the second round. Make some noise and welcome back Aditya Narayan!
There's something beautiful about memories. They're objects defying the deaths of their subjects. Like wrapping paper that preserves the shape of what it covers so a little boy never forgets what his first wish looked like. It was a gift from Santa. And Santa looked a lot like Grandpa. grandpa, with its cloud-white hair impersonating engine smoke from his workplace. A train station that groaned daily with muffled cries, muttered incantations, rising from 50 memories, fighting 50 goodbyes. I see his eyes as they congealed from sheep white to sodium orange to apple red. Thanks to the tobacco, he gargled like toothpaste. Toothpaste that always would taste of fresh guilt and stale habit, but for one 5-year-old boy, he was the entire planet. You see, there's something religious about memories. They're devotees that meditate on a melody and never leave. Speaking of melodies, you can memorialize a memory musically. Take notes. No, literally. And a steady beat going underneath, and your memory is as immortal as it will ever be. So when you're 65 with Alzheimer's and a swiftly dying brightness in your eyes, and your sense of left and right and wrong and right have all but come undone, a single song can help you briefly find your grandson. And for one solid minute, you will hum the line he hasn't sung yet. And then you will reset. Go back into a man he has never met, burying a man he will never meet. There is something incomplete about some memories. The engines that ran out of smoke and forgot to breathe. A cloud of white hair that rained on its pillow for the final time and left behind a widowed family that's still trying to grieve. And the boy has grown up now. He moved across the sea, and sometimes he still sees you when he falls asleep. Like engine smoke extending hope as remedy, like I wish you had left the planet next to me. Like I wish you'd left when I wasn't fast asleep. My mother says his Alzheimer's outperished him. For 15 minutes, he remembered everything. He spoke with her, he spoke with Dad, he blessed them both. His soul congealed before his breaths went up in smoke. Is it absurd to think I deserved his final words? And sat by him, as terrifying as that would be. Does it make sense to wish you had a memory? To long for life to have gone a little differently? I don't know. But I know there's something beautiful with memories. Especially the ones that look a lot like dreams. Thank you.
It's like I'm desperately wanting to be like, and how do you feel now, Jodie? It's going to be a long afternoon for Kev after this. Guys, can we just make some noise for all our second round slammers? Like I said, this is our third year doing the Slam series. And, you're 3 years in, you think, maybe it won't be as good this year, I don't know. And then it's like just it's fucking better than ever. It's insane. The talent, the spoken word talent in this country is incredible. I would say if this is, if you're here for the book fest and this is maybe the first time you're seeing something spoken wordy, please go and see more spoken word. Spoken word is one of the least developed, least attended, least kind of eyes on art forms in the country. But I think it is one that offers the most. Like, you can see the amount of subjects, the range of genres, the voices, the backgrounds, the different ideas being presented on stage. One slam. That is the beauty of spoken word. In a single poem, sometimes you get that whole gamut of emotion. It is an incredible art form, and it doesn't get the love it deserves. Certainly during August at Fringe, it is the smallest part of the Fringe book. Most of the poets that are in town are part of the Free Fringe, doing it in tiny basements to small audiences, and they have incredible performances. Please continue to search it out. If you don't know where to look, good news, we do. You can come and talk to us. We will tell you. We'll point you in the right direction. You can drop us an email, anything like that. The best people to speak to, the poets. One, because you can tell them you like their stuff and fuel them with validation. Tasty compliments. But also, so you can ask them where you can find spoken word, where you are. I know the Book Fest, some of you guys might not be based in Edinburgh. You might be based all over the country. Good news. So are these guys. You can go and find it where you are. Please, please do that. As we head to the third round, like I said, we have a little extra magic ingredient here at Loud Poets that we like to add on. So please help me welcome to the stage the amazing Mr. Jack Higgs. Comes out of nowhere. So Jack is our resident musician at Loud Poets. He has been with us for a very, very long time and has an incredible skill of playing alongside poets, improvising alongside poets. And it's something, when you see it happen, is a really beautiful thing to see work well. So hopefully it all works well. But for our poets, they've all done it at least once with Jack, because they won their slam heat, so they've all done the final round. But the best way that we found to kind of do it is to give Jack 3 words. And those 3 words kind of give him an impression. And the more kind of strange those words are, weirdly, the more helpful they are. Like, you could say, like, happy love poem. Or you could say, like, candy floss disco sex. Nice. Or you could say classical French kitchen. I'm hungry. Nice. So that's kind of how it works. Easy peasy. You just throw some words. Tristan, give me a word. Tracy, give me a word. Ukraine. Lucy, give me a word. Panda. Objective Ukraine panda. We're all waiting for the panda, aren't we? There it is. Yeah. So that is what we're going to do, but we thought we would give you an example, and so while the math's being done, we are going to have, for one final performance, please give all the love and welcome the fucking champ to the stage, EmmaClaire Brightlyn! You can take it and run.
Don't know how tall you think I am.
So tired and
hungry. Great. Huge shout out also to the Loud Poets, because Kev and Katie and Mark and Jack are absolute superstars in this scene. I'm just going to say, and they've got great taste in belts. Okay, Jack, here we go. First word is pulse. Perpetual. Pace. We are running. I am I, and I was, and I will be again, but presently find myself inextricably also a we, forever linked through fingers and cells to she, and right now we are running. Fast, uphill in the sun. I run, she runs, and when we reach the top, she exclaims, "Here me are here." And I say, you. You are. It is I am that you are, and she is off again. Deeply ensconced in the present tense, figuring out this transition, this progression, this series of life lessons that make sense until a past participle becomes an adjective, when I race and she races and we race and I lose or she loses and only time is lost. While singular and plural have yet to define the series of bookends we travel as. While her body pushes boundaries, while her brain pushes words to conjugate verbs, to conjugate ourselves more together, back together. Her haven being my body, but she is not getting back in there, so I run. So she runs and we run. Her eyes and me's, a surprising blend, often profound in stealth. Though she nails all by myself every time as she runs away with words and legs. And I run, and she runs, and we run. I eat, she eats what I wanted to eat, so technically we eat. She sleeps sometimes, so I try to sleep. These days we don't sleep together. So she weeps, and I weep, and she may not remember that we wept together. And I learn, and she learns, and she grows, and we try, I try, she tries, she is very trying, and we fly as we run. And soon her eyes will not be muddled with me's or we's or you's or me. And soon she will figure out the verb to be. And soon she will climb and run and fall and swim quite singularly, but presently and wildly and gleefully and breathfully. I am running. She is running. We are. Thank you.
Don't go weirdly silent while I look at the names. Continue clapping. All right, pipe down, Jack. Amazing stuff. Guys, again, I'm a broken record, but it'll have been an incredibly difficult round to score. Only 3 can go through. 3 from that 10 is a maddening thing to try and get done. I'm just going to read out the fucking names. So, the 3 poets through who will be reading in this order, and yes, cheer after each one, or just cheer in general, will be Aditya Narayan! Nice. Arlo Bain! The Power. And finally, Henry Mann! Those are your 3 final poets. This is going to be the final round. We will wind up with 1 champion. Guys, it is going to be a good one. Are you ready for the final round? Then let's do this. Please give all the love, make all the noises. We welcome back Aditya Narayan.
Thank you so much, everyone. Jack, can I have Chains Breaking Triumph? Can start. When I was 5, I was told my tongue was forked at the hinge, cut half down the middle, foundation to fringe, and if I wanted to swing for a decent living, I must pick one limb or another. That's what primary school feels like in a country that lives with the sins of another. When a language is muscled so hard down your throat that it bloats with generational fibrosis. When letters and verses you prayed with are prayed on like blight that prevails on a forest. When grammar is dice-cut and sliced up so finely you swallow it benignly with eyes shut. When violence is fed intravenously so you can't tell your own bloodstream from poison, that's when 100 more years of colonial glory await you across the horizon. When I was 5, I was told my tongue was forked and it had to relent in submission. And listen, I tried. Ages 6 through 7, I took lesson after lesson to lessen my Indian side. Pried my muscles into a straighter line, revised my vowel signs, decided where to breathe, how much to breathe, and forced my breath through clenching teeth. Go, succeed, build the life that you seek in a world that breeds on the fallen debris of imperial colonial fodder. Just make sure you act like you're free while they edit the audio file on your collar. When I was 5, I was told my tongue was forked and to live with this tongue was improper. I had to choose. And only one choice would bring order. The beneficial language. The universal language, the God-granted golden gift that's gotten global language. The master me, your ancestry is not important language. The master me, it's mandatory, I am your mother language. The choose this tongue over no other language. The choose this tongue over no other language. The choose this tongue over no other language. The choose this tongue over no. I unhook my leash, spit out the rules. I look at my tongues. I do not choose. I braid them together like rivers colliding, like lovers deriving a single breath. Two cultures aspiring for a single truth by the death of the difference that made them forget that a language is only as good as the pieces that make it. And I've got twice the pieces you get. So I let them entwine, tongue into tongue, and I watch them combine into one. Now I speak with one tongue. No splinter, no scar. Jisme na hai sarhad na koi diwar. You listen, you think I am jumping between. Batao main kaise dilaun yaqeen that you hear me in halves. I've never been fuller. The tongue that was forced down my throat like a tumor and that which to my generations belonged are finally singing a singular song. So don't let my borderless cadence perplex you. If you think it is broken, I think that reflects you. My words might be dual. My verses oblique, but I speak with one tongue, and she knows how to speak. Thank you.
I want you to keep that applause building. I want that noise to get bigger as we welcome to the stage, Arlo Bain.
Can I get the words golden, home, and sleep? Golden Lady. The name Orla descends from the fields of Ireland, from the reels of weaving and heaving, the great country wholly unreal. Golden Lady. Orla has been home for almost 2 decades. You'd never know, so afraid. It is a name frayed and made in the fire of the sky, so strayed of giants, vie and foe. Golden Lady is the translation offered with wide smile by a tiny person in a tiny person's style. Orla is Golden Lady. Pray, so fit and fair, with the ragged blonde hair wrapped around my flat chest. Golden Lady seemed best for this tiny giant. I remember the first time it didn't feel like my name. Discordant melodies sung between classrooms, ruminating plumes of lost souls, sounds so unholy. Someone sings a tune holy, horrifying to me. And suddenly Golden Lady runs rancid in my ears. All those years beloved, a name pre-loved and passed down from ancestors I have no claim to. Why in that second? What's the change for? Well, I've never been a lady and my hair isn't gold anymore. Who knows what else has changed? That golden lady forged by man. Arlo is the name I've been in love with, perhaps for longer than I thought. That boy is hot and cool and nonchalant. He haunts my brain. Arlo feels and reels from ever stolen steel beams. He clashed with her, a body swirled and stirred. The words grow limbs. Between my gums and eardrums, cram my teeth till they're bent. A hell-sent noise, groping, hoping for a melody to send it to sleep. So then a decision, division, 2 names made of the same letters I felt was better 'cause I'm made of the same parts I always was. If they don't understand, it's because they were never meant to. Never to know the importance of a name, a calling card to my criminal fame. A piece of me of meat sliced up and held out when we first meet. So I stop the record from repeating the same song. I find a melody without memory and can finally move on. So I sift through sands of time, lift her like the sleeping child from the car, take her to bed. I thank her for coming inspired. I allow the golden lady to grow tired. I think that she's earned that, and she was too precious. I reckon she learned that long ago. And the night was not cold. Her end was not abrupt. It was just easier to let her fall asleep and never wake her up. And she is having the sweetest of dreams. So I stroke gleaming beams left, surrounding gentle breaths in a little body. Pick up the scissors, cut into the ore. I may not know where I'm going, but I know it's better than before. Take the slabs, melt with heat like joy, mold the metal, make golden boy. Thank you.
We have reached the final poet in the final round. I want you to give every last drop you've got. Raise the roof for Henry Mann!
Let's go breath, evolution, hopeful-ish.
My favorite kind of hope.
But not too hopeful. Yes. Sometimes, right, I find it easiest to breathe when my head is underwater. But it feels strange to admit enjoying such a simple pleasure when the world is in a very weird place right now, and right now has lasted for a while. And if I'm honest, it feels like all my friends are drowning in their own unique way, like we're all doing some synchronized, out-of-time, flailing routine in the pool without a lifeguard, or maybe the lifeguard is drowning next to us. I don't know who the lifeguard is meant to be in this metaphor, but I do know that being made to jump in the swimming pool in year 6 in our pajamas to rescue a foam brick did not prepare us for this. And maybe none of this would have happened if we'd all just stayed in the sea with the horseshoe crabs and the kelp and never bothered to flop onto land only to end up drowning here a few billion years later. But then we wouldn't have had things like roast potatoes and saxophones and really good hugs, but I'm struggling to decide whether or not it was worth it, because last year my friend became a face on a missing person poster that we had to take down a week later. And I still don't know which part of that process hurt more. And I don't understand how so many of us can go missing from each other's lives when, there are even apps which track you sleeping, which I don't think we need, but I do think we need to learn to hold each other a little more tightly, maybe, even though that hasn't been proven to stop people leaving. In fact, sometimes the opposite. And it's really hard to hold on to someone when you're using both arms to tread water. And there's always the fear you might end up just dragging them down with you. But then there's those ants. Do you know the ones? They make a raft out of their collective bodies when they meet a pool of water and take it in turns to float or go under. So maybe we could do something with that. Or maybe we just do what the whales did and return to the sea and learn to get really good at sinking and grow big enough to admit our mistakes. And maybe that's why sometimes I find it easiest to breathe with my head underwater. It's like coming home. Thank you.
Give some love to Jack Hanks as well. Hey. What do you even say after that? I should know I'm the host. That's a fucking insane final round. I'm sure we are going to end up with a worthy champion no matter who takes home the crown. I know some serious math is about to be done. I figured in the meantime, maybe I would do a poem. So I think it's important to recognize, especially now, while we have this beautiful city with like 4 festivals going on and an Oasis gig, and how lucky we are to have that in a time where many, many people in the world do not have that. We have a fringe show that we're doing, and a poem that is part of it we wanted to make sure was in is a poem I found it really difficult to write about what was happening in Palestine for the longest time. And I think because I have never experienced that, it speaks to like Tristan's poem, the idea of I have lived a life of complete privilege in comparison. And then something happened that I felt I could write about because it was about someone who saw that and couldn't handle it. And that's how I felt. And so February 2024, American airman called Aaron Bushnell took what is the kind of ultimate form of radical protest, and he set himself aflame outside the Israeli embassy in protest of what was happening. This is a poem about him. Boy hits the magnifying glass with sunlight. It burns white hot and blindingly bright. He bends it to the right spot, keeps his target in sight. A toy soldier, green plastic, locked in dramatic action, forever frozen in the pose he chose for firing at some enemy in some place at some time, because there are always wars worth fighting. His temperature rising from the heat of the light he's focused in, until solid skin starts rippling, dripping wax where once stood a war veteran, and he must be wondering what orders sealed his reckoning. He joins a puddle of plastic made up of his brethren, and the kid never considers the mess he's left them in, just moves on to the next toy, a conveyor belt of disposable citizens. But the kid grows, makes friends, picks up sticks and plays pretend, imaginary rounds, but real humans. It's good they don't die, because it takes time to train new ones. They mime the recoil, they mimic the reloading of clips, this grim panto, this twisted charade thankfully stops short of shallow, child-dug graves. Now the kid is a man. The whole world at his feet, as long as he can afford to pay rent and eat, but the career that he's chosen, it demands a degree, and they don't come cheap. But there is a way to avoid all those loans and fees, and even to explore the world for free, so he doesn't think twice. Just signs his name. Training is tough, and he's always in pain, but he doesn't dare show it. That's part of the game, to just grin and bear it, to not show the cracks, to laugh at the stress, to let each insult pass, until like a stone in a river, he is smoothed over time. And like every good soldier, he falls into line, because he knows what he does is for the good of us all. He's a hero, a patriot. He answered the call for God and for country, and when asked to fight, he'll lay down his life to defend what is right. But what is right is a concept in which he has no say. A reality shared with victims half a world away, a distance diminished by the technology we have today. So he spectates on atrocity. He scrolls his way through Gaza and sees the words, "Do not look away." A plea from Palestinians with no hope of escape, their only chance for change through the witnessing of their fate, because surely no sane mind could stay silent in the face of such violent hate. So the soldier does as they ask. He listens to the screams of men his age, the rage of fathers folding shrouds around their babes. He sees mounds of bodies, bloodied, bruised, and maimed. He sees generations of a single family erased. He sees mass graves, the blocking of aid, hundreds of thousands of people displaced. He sees men dressed like him with smiles on their face as they commit genocide. He hears silence from those above him, from his government, they look away. And he can't stomach it. He won't be complicit in the death of innocents. So if they won't give credence to the pleas of Palestinians, then maybe they'll listen to the screams of a citizen. He is a toy soldier, haunted by all the horror the world had to show him. And his final act was to turn himself to wax, to burn so bright we cannot look away, to say and mean never again, to be a beacon burning through time. Aaron Bushnell's final words were free Palestine. Thank you so much. I just feel, it's important to remember, especially at these times, we have so much, and to be able to still make art and come together and celebrate that in the face of such horrors is so important. But we should never forget the people that can't. Let's do a big breath. Are you ready to crown a Grand Slam champion? I said, are you ready to crown a champion? EmmaClaire, would you please join me on stage to hand over your title one last time? Give it up for the champ! The winner of the Loud Poets 2025 Grand Slam Final is Aditya Narayan! Guys, thank you so much for coming along. This is the third year here. We are so happy to have been back to crown a brand new champion. Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for EmmaClaire, our last champion, who's done an amazing job. A huge round of applause for Mr. Jack Higgs. For all of the staff here at the Book Festival. For our wonderful judges, Katie Ailes, Jodie Barnacle-Best, and EmmaClaire Brightlyn. My name has been Kevin Mclean. This has been the Grand Slam Final. For one last time, give some noise for your champ, Aditya! If you want to see more from us, you can click on the QR code, find all those details. But for now, we will see you again next year. Good night!
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please help us share it with more people by clicking the like button down below. If you want to see more videos like it, well, there should be one on your screen right now. Click that and you can head right there. Or you can subscribe to the channel. Make sure to ring the bell icon for notifications and you will never miss another video we put out. If that's not enough for you, well, good news. We have over 50 full-length Loud Poet shows that you can get access to, either by joining us over on the Patreon page or by becoming a member right here on YouTube. All you need to do is click the join button down below. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next time.